Shay is without a doubt, I think. I mean, interestingly, Packy Bonner is also a Donegal man, but I think Shay, throughout his career, club football and for Ireland, is just head and shoulders really above anyone else. Okay, we'll move on now to the defence, and I suppose we'll start with the central defenders. I went for Paul McGrath and Mark Lawrenson.
I went for Charlie Hurley, who would be a bit before Eamon's time, and most people's time, and it's a lot of people wouldn't remember him. I think Mark Lawrenson was brilliant, but I think Charlie Hurley in his day would have been my pick. So I went for Charlie Hurley. Mark, you went for?
Yeah, I played with Charlie Hurley for the Irish team, but I thought Lawrenson was a great player and would rank with any. He'd get probably in the heart of any all-time England team, arguably, John.
Yeah,
wouldn't he?
yeah,
Or even
I was
the
a great,
Scottish team.
terrific player. Yeah.
So that's why I went for Lawrenson, and I also had the pleasure of being managed by Charlie Hurley at Reading, and that was a rather difficult experience for both of us. So one of them has to go in the bin.
We'll put Mark Lawrenson in. I only went for Charlie because he was one of the older
So
guys.
can I bin Charlie? Bin him.
Well, you can leave him out. we talk a different language sometimes.
It's called a bin, John. Now, there we go. Mark Lawrenson, not the greatest pundit in the world, I have to say, but we don't disagree at all about Paul McGrath.
No.
And he's your all-time great Irish player anyway. So I think that is quite a magnificent partnership at the heart of the defence. And we do disagree about the right fullback. John has picked Dennis Irwin, who had a fantastic career with United and a very, very good career with Ireland as well. I picked Seamus Coleman. I wouldn't disagree. Dennis was a terrific player and won everything with Manchester United. I think he was a great buy for Ferguson, bought cheaply from Oldham, maybe even a free transfer, was it? From Oldham or Leeds, John?
Oldham, he bought him from Oldham.
Yep.
He got a free transfer from Leeds.
So, but I think Coleman is special, and I prefer him because of his personality. He's a young guy. He was blanked by Trapattoni, even not taken to the European Championship finals, but he believed in himself. He's got a lot of character. But they're both really outstanding players. And now it's a call between the two.
Well, the reason I go for Dennis Irwin is that, and this is sometimes a difficult one, because Coleman is a young boy and he's relatively inexperienced. Dennis Irwin's career is finished and he's done what he's done. Now it might well be that Coleman will do better in that particular, in another, say, 8 years, I might be saying, no, Coleman has been a better player than Dennis Irwin. But at the moment, I think Dennis Irwin has done it, and Coleman, I think, will do it, but he hasn't done as much as Dennis Irwin yet.
So I think it's Dennis Irwin. And on you go, Dennis. There we go. You can see him doing his punditry on Setanta, if you're really into suffering. Now, left back. Tony Dunn, who not many young people will remember. He was left full-back for Manchester United. When they won the European Cup, as it then was, in 1968. Great, great, great player by any standards. Now, John would have played against him as a schoolboy. He played schoolboy football here for Finbars, played League of Ireland football for Shelburne, as a right full-back, actually. I remember seeing him play for right. And Billy
Bean, both sides,
Billy Bean, the great Irish scout, took him to Manchester. I think he bought him for about $5,000. But he was just a magnificent player. I played with him in the Irish international team. I made my debut in Paris. Tony was left full-back. And John, you played with him and against him.
Yeah. Well, I played against him as a schoolboy. He was a very, very good player. And then he came to Manchester United. I went at 15, and as you say, played for Shelburne. He came over when he was 18. So he had a long career at Manchester United. And he played in a star-studded team. You had Law, Best and Charlton. And when you're playing that team, defenders don't get much publicity. And Tony was one of those players, but he was very well respected as a pro. He was a vital part of Manchester United, and he was the outstanding fullback at that particular time for about 10 years. So,
yeah, and he was unheralded because he didn't do publicity. He wasn't, you know, charismatic, but he was deeply respected, and I think there's no question. One of the all-time great footballers from anywhere. So in he goes. And I think that is a pretty sensational back five, to be honest. And we're talking here in even the great Brazilian team in 1970, or you know, the great Barcelona team that we've just seen. Guardiola. I think these guys would have been able to compete, no problem, with that quality. So we're talking, you know, very, very good players.